garbage over there?
Another Shore Conference action tonight. In a big American Division game, number 2 in the Shore Conference, Diamond Catholic, travels to number 3, Robson Fairhaven. Homedale is at number 7, Middletown South. Ocean is at Raritan. St. John Vianney at Ranch. Toms River South at Toms River East. Burke at Lacey, Neptune at Central, Asbury Park at Shore, Manchester at Barnegat, Point Borough is at Jackson Liberty, Lakewood's at Point Beach, Foothill Borough travels to Foothill Township, and Wool is at Red Bank Catholic. As members of the Shore Conference, we pledge to promote unity through our continued commitment to diversity, inclusion, and equity. We will embrace the differences of all as we engage in elite levels of competition and fair play. We pledge to support the conference and its stance against racism, hate, and discrimination. Tonight's referee is Mr. Bill Frank. His crew includes Mark Machura, Sean Brown, Casey Mahoney, Charlie Amoruso, and Gary Kudzak. Our clock operator is Mr. Duke Sodiak. This is the same kind of stare down I have with my wife. I always win. Now entering field, Southern Regional Rams. remove your hats. Before the playing of the national anthem tonight, nearly 20 years ago on September 11, 2001, our nation was attacked. We were attacked in New York, in Washington, and in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. On that day, because we could not bring back those who were lost, we made the solemn promise to never forget. With that in mind, please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. If you look to the end zone scoreboard side, the New Jersey 7082nd 8FJ ROTC will now present the colors as our Jackson Memorial Band will lead us in the national anthem. Donovan Zapata for the Jaguars.
Hello everybody and welcome back to JTV's Game of the Week. I'm Steve Ifantis.
And I'm Brian Martin-Gano, and today we have a matchup between the Jackson Memorial Jaguars and the Southern Regional Rams.
How's it being back, Brian? We haven't seen you in a little bit. I know you've gone off to college and all that stuff. How is it finally coming back to JTV?
You know, it's good, and I always like to come back for these football games. You know, football is such a big part of what Memorial is, especially with how good the band is and how much they are a part of it. And, you know, a lot of that Jag Nation will always be here, and the fact that I've graduated hasn't changed that. But, you know, hoping for a good game.
Yep, so am I. And I believe the starting roster for Jackson Memorial, their starting quarterback is Ty Mann, their starting running back is Aiden Sweeney, and their most likely to score player is Alexi. I'm sorry, Alexi, if I butcher your name. Tesweski. I'm sorry, Alexi, if I butcher your name. I am sorry if I butchered that name. I apologize. And their starting roster for Southern Regional, their running back, Jaden Brown. Their starting quarterback, Noland Schwarber-Bigger. I apologize if I butchered that, and the most likely to score is Jaden Anthony. So, good luck, Southern. Good luck, Memorial. And
let's get into it. We're really hoping for a good game here, and you know, with Memorial in the past has had a really high-powered running game. They did lose their starting running back, Will Towns, but Southern Regional is probably going to bring the heat with their running back, and they're coming off of a 41-0 win in their last game. And they're coming off of a hot streak.
And Jackson is coming off a loss, unfortunately. They lost, unfortunately, I believe, 16-12 the last game.
And sometimes that could just be something that could light a fire for the Jags. That could give them a little bit more motivation that they don't want to start like that. And now this home game, they're going to go for it. And Tag Nation already getting at it. Memorial to receive the ball first.
Here comes the kickoff. Southern will be kicking off here.
For the Jaguars, Sandro and Hernandez.
And you can already hear those fans already chanting, "We will win," and the football chants that is planted at every football game. Trying to get this team pumped up as we can. As now here we go. Southern's getting ready to kick off. As you can hear from the Southern sideline, their drum line is playing for them to kick off. There is the whistle. Here comes the kick. Boom! Kicked already back. And I believe that is
Albert D'Alessandro go down, and he has a little bit of room, is able to take it up to the 45.
45. We get a 1st and 10 down to the 45-yard line, I believe.
And that kick was a pretty good kick, too. Received it at about the 10, maybe 11, and he was able to find a gap up the middle and just run through it.
Now, if you're Jackson here, do you start out with a run play or you start out with a throwing play?
Well, it entirely depends on what their game plan is. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see the last game, so I'm not quite sure what their strong suit is. But, you know, it could be one of those things where they might want to start off hot and they might want to try to go for a quick pass, try to get down the field, and maybe use their speed to their advantage.
Yes. Especially they want to keep Jaden Brown off the field as much as they can. Oh, nice deep pass down the middle, but it's going to be incomplete, as we're going to take another look at that.
And that's one of the annoying ones that both the quarterback and the receiver, they got to both know. It's not one that you beat yourself up on, but it's just annoying, some of those where it's so close to being so good. And that's what I was talking about with the setting the tempo the way that they want to do it. And now they've shown that they can bring that out, and wouldn't be surprised to see the Rams back it up a little bit.
As now here comes Jackson again. Offsides or false start? I think it's a false start.
And that is not how the Jags want to start that, but nope, 2nd and 15. They got to hope for not a 3 and out. They want to set the tempo, and you know, they still have plenty of a chance. 2nd and 15. If they could pick up 7-8 here, they could put themselves in a good chance on a 3rd and short.
All right, as now Jackson's 2nd down and 15 yards to go with the ball on the 40-yard line. Oh, my apology, the 39-yard line.
Offense coming out of the huddle. Looks like they're probably going for the pass. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom.
Now here comes Ty Mann. He's got the ball. He's going to go out the side. Oh, he gets hit, but he's going to throw it and going to make the catch.
And
no, incomplete.
Yeah, that's another one of those plays that they wish they could come back and have that a little bit different, but they definitely brought the blitz there and brought the
We're going to
pressure.
take another look at this play. Oh, here it is. Here, as you see, Ty Mann scrambles to the left side. He gets hit, still gets that ball out in time, and he just couldn't get his feet in, number 39.
Mitchell Latte, and
Could not get his feet in to keep that ball.
And now they really got to push something downfield here. Number 4 seems like coverage. Looks like they might have a chance at getting something short. Takes a shot down deep. It's behind him.
Oh!
He's not able to catch it.
It was just in his fingertips.
Yeah, you know, that's honestly not the worst. I mean, okay, it's kind of the worst way the Jags can start, but they really showed that they're not afraid to pass it. And if they start mostly in the air, if they could bring out the running back, that would be good. And as we take a look.
As you see here, Ty Mann's got all the time, and then he gets hit. He's going to hit all the way. And oh, just if he reached out his hands 2 more inches, he gets a touchdown maybe.
Yeah, and
that one might come back and haunt Jackson in the...
And that's just It's just one of those things that it's just, what are you going to do? And going for the punt. The punt snaps a little bit high. Good punt, calls for the fair catch, and they'll get that at the 35, I believe. And
as now the Rams will be getting the position here at the 36-yard line. With that wonderful drone shot offered by Mr. Noble, one of our directors right now.
And wouldn't be surprised to see them come out with a run here. I believe they said earlier he ran for 4 touchdowns last week, so that's something you got to keep in mind. You got to be able to stop the run. And some of these players, it's not easy to do. They are going to hand it off. He's going to find a gap up the middle and gets brought down after a gain of 2 or 3.
I would say here, the really way to stop Jaden Brown here, the running back that's, I believe, is #1 in the state as running backs. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you got to stack the box and dare this quarterback to throw the ball.
Yeah, and I think the blitz is going to have to work its way into the game plan. I'm sure they've been working on blitzing all week, but we're going to... Interesting to see here, and that's a little bit of a fumble, but now they're going to get sacked, and he... Just a poorly taken snap.
Number Thomas Winsky and Angelo Niskaka got that sack here, as we see.
And there he just isn't quite able to get it. Might have been supposed to be a run, couldn't quite tell. And they just break into the backfield and take him down. And that's just not quite the snap that he wanted. He seemed to have fumbled a little bit, but, you know, again, somehow, both teams ended up with a 3rd and 15 off the start.
This is looking a lot like how Jackson started, besides that one penalty. Both had a 3rd and 15. Can now Jackson force a 3 and out here?
And he's back, gonna pass. He's gonna complete it down the side. He's gonna get the first down before getting brought down. Nice catch there by number 29, Cole Levi.
As now the chains are going to be moving down the field, as we're going to take another look at that. As we see here, the quarterback gets it. He's going to get it through the middle, and he's just going to break the first tackle right here, and as now Ty Man just going to lock him up just to make sure he doesn't get any more yards on them.
Yeah, and it's a really good planned play, especially when they know you have the high-powered run. Not that you would do it on that play, but they definitely went for the blitz, and he was able to get the ball out just fast enough, and here they're going to hand it off to the fullback. Interesting play call, but it's going to get them some yardage.
Someone's helmet came off. It was the fullback's helmet.
Okay, and that was number 42, Nate Committee. And we're going to take another look at this play. As you see, the quarterback hands it off to the fullback, and Jackson was not expecting that because he got way more yards than a fullback usually should. Yeah, and he's able to continue to even push the pile down the field. And good run by him, good way to start, and they're able to get a first down. And here they could get a little bit more creative, but they're going to go for a run down the side. He's able to break a tackle, spin move. We're getting brought down.
You know what he looks like? Jaden Brown. He looks like Derrick Henry in high school. Like,
he does.
That's exactly what Derrick Henry's body is.
Yeah,
as you see, is he's just gonna boom break that first leg tackle, and then he's gonna hit this second break tackle. He's not gonna break that tackle, but if you could break the first tackle, you're really a monster in football.
Yeah. It's always one of the hard things as a receiver, running back. Even now in football, a lot of quarterbacks can do it, and sometimes it's easy to look at the defense and go, how did you not tackle him? But some of these guys, they know what they're doing. They know how to break tackles.
Is it going to be a run up the middle? Oh, he's going to get stuffed. That's the first stuff of the night for Jackson. Hopefully it's the first of many to come.
And the Jags are able to push him back. Tries to bring it up the middle, and this might turn into a situation with Southern Regional. Really just you gotta hope that they trust the arm of the quarterback enough. They were able to get the first down on that 3rd and 15 earlier. Now on the 2nd and 12. like 2nd and 13. See what they're able to do.
As you can hear, the cheerleaders chanting Jaden Brown, that number 3 running back. It's going to be a fullback run. And it's going to take almost the entire team. He's still going. Did he get the first round?
I don't believe so, but he got really close, and that's twice that they've used him, and he's one of those big guys that you know has got some speed to him, and the ability to push the pile just shows, give credit to the O-line of just being able to push that D-line back and push it forward.
Wow. Is the one reason to stop the run game is you can't put the ball in their hands. So Jackson here, in my opinion, the only way of to stop this offense, you're going to have to keep the ball, and you're going to have to keep it often.
And the Jags looking to do a full-out blitz here, hands it off still, and he's not going to go anywhere. The Jags read that one like a book, and they knew, and they might be calling for a fumble.
There we go.
Quite sure. Yeah, I believe he still has the ball.
Yep, that's going to be just, we're going to take another look at this. Here we go. As he's going to get up, but then he's going to be tackled right there on the leg, and then all the Jackson players just swarm over the offensive line.
And
someone's hurt. It looks like we have a man down on the field. Can't tell who that is right now.
It is Jackson Memorial.
As now we're going to see Jackson talking with their coaches, also kneeling for respect out of their injured player. Same thing with Southern. They're doing the same thing. They're kneeling for the injured player on the field right now.
It's always unfortunate, especially this early in the game, and sometimes you hope they could shake it off, and sometimes you hope it's a small injury, but there's no way to know at the moment. But and that is number 44, Thomas Wendowski, and he looks to be up and on his own willpower, which is always a good sign. Looks a little bit shaken up, but it's always a good sign when no one's helping him get off the field.
I think he just got the wind knocked out of him, and he couldn't just get up by himself. Like, I think that's usually in this sport when you're getting hit by running backs or hit by offensive linemen. It's very easy to get your wind knocked out of you, and you just are like, you can't breathe and all that stuff. So like, it's not easy being a lineman, I'm gonna say.
No, absolutely not. And
now it's gonna be 4th down here. And it looks like Southern is going to go for it here. Can Jackson pull a 4th down stop and get the ball on their own 30-yard line back? Or will Southern get a 1st down here? It's going to be a pass. He's going to get it over the middle. And did he get enough?
He did. Not entirely sure. I think this could be entirely by ref's choice. And they're going to give him the 1st down. As you can see, he takes the snap.
Look at this replay here.
And that was a good throw over to the side, and it was a good route run, take advantage of the loose coverage, and good tackle there by Ty Mann, not letting him get out of that and gain more yards. And that's twice now that the offense has put 2 men in the backfield and thrown the ball, and it seems to be working out because Memorial has been putting out a lot of pass rush pressure, and seems to be how they plan on countering it.
As now it's going to be another run. And Jackson's going to get another stuff. Oh, my God, he almost broke that tackle, as you saw there. Yeah, this kid is just a monster. It's going to be 2nd down. We're going to take another look at this play. Here he comes. He's going to just get stuffed. But as you see right here, he almost breaks out of that. He's like got the thing, and then just all the Jackson players have to use all their might to bring him down. And I believe that for the last 7 minutes of this, last 5 minutes of this game, Southern had the ball. I think Jackson only had the ball for 2 minutes. Southern's had the ball for the last 5.
Yeah, and that's some of the problems with the explosive offenses. And he has a guy open. He's gonna take the pass and might be just short. Not quite sure. Waiting on the call. And this is not what the Jags want to be seeing right now. They don't want to let them go down the drive, and it's been a pretty lengthy drive at that.
Here we go. Ooh, no 1st down, though. He's going to get a 3rd and 2 out of that. Here we go. And he's just going to be just nice catch over the middle. It's a nice out route. Number 11 was a little too far in front, so he could not get his hands on to get a stop or deflect or pick it, unfortunately. But you got to learn for the future. You got to. But I would say though, is the first quarter is more of like finding the weaknesses in the scheme and figuring out the scheme. So for the rest of the game, you could figure out the scheme, and that's going to be a toss to the flat, and he's going to get 2 yards. It might be a first down.
And a nice green route there. He's able to make the reception and get a good stiff arm to buy himself a few yards. And just real quick, I would like to say that number 44, we did see him on the sideline, was doing a couple sprints and jumping jacks, and he seems to be looking okay and might come back in.
Here comes the run. Here comes the ball. It's going to the flat now, and he's going to break this tackle with the stiff arm as number 5 is just chasing him down. But number 29 is not giving up. Even though he lost that tackle, he still makes sure he got down.
And now we are in the red zone at the 14-yard line. The Rams got to be looking to punch it in here, try to take 7-0 lead.
I think Jackson right now needs some of that fans to start getting that into the other team's ears.
And they're able to bring him down. He is able to gain
yardage. It's going to be a 2nd and 8, I believe.
Tom Wadowski for the Jags, gain of 1.
2nd and 10, no gain of yards. As we're going to take another look at this. It's just nice running back to the fullback. He's going to be pushed outside and then just going to...
And they'll be calling that a 2nd and 9. Now in the huddle, and they might be looking to take this and throw it. Would be just a way to get it, but it looks like they're going to hand it off over to the side, and he's just going to get brought down in the Jags.
Now that's exactly what Jackson needed there. They needed a big stop on 2nd down to force a 3rd down here. It's going to be 3rd and 9 now, and even though they are on Jackson's 13, the fans are starting to get hyped as you see the run goes out to the side, and it just takes 3 people to take this kid down. This is just insane that it takes 3 people to tackle 1 person.
Yeah, and there was just not a lot of holes for him to go there, and number 44 on the tackle, he is back in the game, looking good. So, was just probably a case getting the wind knocked out of him. And that's the thing. The Rams have shown run a lot. They're continuing to show run, and this one's going to be a pass out to the side, and that's a great screen. Able to make a spin move. Don't quite think he's going to get the first down. It's going to be a 4th and short.
Now if you're Southern here, do you go for it? Or do you just take your field goal? Because you are in field goal range here. As we're going to take another look at this.
This is an interesting call. They're a good throw and a good play by number 23. He's able to just sneak behind, and he is able to slow him down enough to keep him out of the end zone. And on a 4th and 6, that's, you know, it's one of those, it could go either way. The running game that the Rams have been showing hasn't been working as well as I think they'd hoped it to. Their fullback has been able to make some success, but the running back, he seems to be just getting clobbered at the line or in the backfield at that. And 4th and 6 at the 9, it depends how much they believe in, I guess, their defense. If they think 3 points is enough, then I think they might go passively and take the field goal. And it is first quarter, so
I would take your points.
It's an interesting call here.
Yes, but Southern did just call a timeout, though. So maybe they're discussing something. Maybe they're discussing a trick play or to make the offensive jump. So it's now a 4th and... I meant the defensive jump, so it's a 4th and 1 instead of a 4th and 6 to make it a little better situation for them. But I don't know. If you're Southern here, I might just say just take the points. It looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, I believe so. And that's a...
But also, though, here it is. Even if you don't get the first down here, you're pitting Jackson in their own 10. So it's very, very easy for you guys to get like a safety or something. So here comes the run. Wait, who has the ball?
At the top of the screen, and that's yep, you were right about the trick play, and
that tricked me. I thought the running back Jaden Brown had the ball, and it tricked our cameraman too. Our cameraman thought he was going left, and it went right.
And that's phenomenal play by them.
Let's watch this here.
See, the quarterback keeps the ball, throws it out to the top. He goes just off screen, but able to break out that tackle, gain 4 more yards. And that's really a case of just taking the entire O-line, making them go left and making the D-line go left, and just getting that fullback into open space, able to complete the pass.
And he makes the PAT. Is good.
7-0 now, and the Jags, they've had some time on the bench. Is that 1:25 left in the first? That was a long drive.
We're going to take another look at this kick. There it is. It's just right through the uprights. He had it was starting to curve to the right, but not too scary that you had to worry about anything being missing or anything like that. But if you're Jackson here, you got to take a nice long drive and get a touchdown at this end of the drive. You got to take the entire first quarter and at least 4 minutes in the second quarter. You have to eat up the time on the bend. You have to put Southern's defense on the field a lot so they get tired and all that stuff.
And one good look for the Jags has been the fact that when they're committing to slow down the run, they are slowing down the run. But their passing game was able to save them on 2 third downs and to score that touchdown on 4th down. So,
as now here come the Rams to kick it off again.
And last time a good return came from the Jags, and they're going to be looking to repeat that.
Hopefully we can have a Will Towns. I remember last year, Will Towns took many to the house before, and then there you see our cheerleaders.
Yeah, and that's got to be a little bit of a blow to Jackson Memorial, but they do have Ty Mann, who did get a few snaps last year, and he is only a junior. So they do have a quarterback for the next year or two, and that was a really good kick going down to the 5, and just a sea of white and gold that he's not going to quite get through, and he'll bring that to, I believe, the 22.
As now here comes Jackson to come on offense here. If you're Jackson here, I know I just said you take long, but here comes the replay first. As he's going to kick it, and it's going to be caught by number 29. And he's going to run. He's going to break this tackle right here, and then he's going to get scooped up right there by 33 and 21.
And that's just it's a decent return by Jaden Hernandez.
And
just try to get some.
We're also taking a replay with the drone shot here.
And Jags getting ready to take the snap. They take it. Quarterback scrambles out to the side. He's going to look to run it. Going to get forward, and the ball comes out. Got to see what the call is. I believe he was down, and that's number 29, Jaden Hernandez, wide receiver. And I'm not sure if the ball was snapped directly to him, but I think it might have been. And it will remain Jackson Memorial's ball. Then he handed it off, a jet sweep coming out there, and
you know what's crazy is, right there, number 3, that's Jaden Brown, the running back that's on offense. He's a linebacker for the Southern Regional as well, so he's definitely got some experience playing at multiple positions.
Yeah, that's one thing that is always interesting about high school is you have tons of people that are multi-positional, and it's just finding who's best where, and they're going to run it up the middle. He's going to spin move, almost break the tackle, but he is able to buy himself a yard or two. Good play by him.
I remember last week, JTV didn't stream this game, but I came here as a guest, and Aiden Sweeney did help Jackson get those points and keep the clock management, I would say. Unfortunately, they did not come out with a win, but Aiden Sweeney was a big help with that team last game. So they got to essentially establish the run game and definitely establish the pass game. And now, does Jackson just let this time go out, do not run a play, or do you run one more play here and just try to take a chance?
I think they're going to run a play.
They have 2 seconds.
Yeah, they got that off. Snap the ball. They're going to hand it off, and
Aiden Sweeney is just going to be wrapped up.
Now I think if there's time to go to the air, it would be now. They were able to pull off a successful pass before on the 3rd and 15, and you hope that the Jags weren't discouraged by the play at the very beginning where they went on their 3 and out and missed a couple of throws. You hope that they continue to give the ball back to the quarterback and let him make some moves. And that's another thing about Ty Mann is he is fast. He is not a slow player. And those are always beneficial when your quarterback can do whatever he wants, and especially throwing on the move can be such an underrated skill, but it's certainly coming out. And you know, the running backs, they can do a lot, but sometimes you can't just keep running it. And Jackson Memorial Band, once again, just doing what they do best, playing their songs and hopefully giving the Jags something to go off of.
And dance with me.
And
Their song, they actually have some pretty good songs, Jackson Memorial Band. They play a lot of good songs. They play the Rocky soundtrack. They play Shut Up and Dance With Me. They play a lot of good songs, in my opinion, especially like newer songs and older songs combined. So it's like,
yeah,
so it's not like the 80s, but it's also like not like pop century and rock and all that stuff. It's like a good mixture of the century.
yeah, a couple years ago they did seem to revamp, and I think it was good for them. See, they're gonna line up one running back in the backfield. And then interested to see what they do here. They're gonna keep the ball. He has pressure on him. Throws it downfield. Oh, and that's one he wish he could have back, and that's not quite able to hold on to it. Good throw, and one thing that I didn't realize about Ty Mansell right now is that I believe he's lefty, which is not really uncommon. It's not a bad thing at all, but you know, just something that you doesn't seem to happen a lot. These lefty quarterbacks.
I don't think there's any lefty quarterbacks in the NFL.
I would think there's got to be one.
There's got to be one on like a practice squad or something, but as like a starting QB, I think they're all right-handed. No, Tua Tagovailoa is a lefty. I remember that because right tackle is his blindside tackle. I do remember that because I do remember making fun of that right tackle that year that drafted.
And decent punt, bring them to the 39, and the Rams offense will come back on the field. And you think that they're gonna want to try to maybe score fast. If they can get they probably want the ball back before the half, but they will be receiving the second half kickoff, and that's thing that they want.
All right, now Southern's going to get the ball again, and I think this is exactly what Southern wants. Keep the ball, keep the momentum in your favor, and just keep running the ball. So Jackson, oh, we got a flag on the play in the backfield, maybe holding?
I don't know, but I do know that they stuffed him, and that's going to be a loss of 3 or 4 there if penalty doesn't offset it.
I think it was holding and Jackson declined it because then it would be 1st and 20.
Nope, I believe they're gonna accept it and it will be.
It was
I'm not sure.
I believe it was as you see the replay, he gets stuffed. I believe it was an ineligible receiver on the field.
Okay.
So they declined that because that would have been a redo of play. That would have been 1st and 15, not 2nd and 10. And especially on this team, I'd rather give them the less downs because you just saw they completed 2 third downs last period and a 4th down conversion. So I would try to get them less downs than if I'm Jackson. Now, the quarterback's going to look to throw. Number 55 and number 11 are chasing down the quarterback, but the quarterback's going to throw the ball away, and it's nearly picked off by Jackson's secondary. As now you just hear that crowd.
This is a big stop for the Jags if they can get it.
As we're going to take another look at this. As you see, number 55 beats number there, and 11 just squeezes through. He grabs, and it's just going to nearly picked off. Number 44, the person that got injured, put his body on the line to try to get that interception. Yeah. And there's our beautiful drone shot again.
And Jaden Brown was the intended receiver. And he's not able to come down with it. Not the greatest of throws, but when you're under pressure like that, especially coming from this side, it's interesting. And one look that I'm sure the Jags bench has picked up on, but the Rams, every time they seem to have both running backs in the backfield, they've thrown it. And that's interesting. I believe that they're trying to slow down this Jags pass rush. And they have had a couple successful throwing plays, and that's going to be a false start on, I
think, Southern?
I would assume the Rams.
Like, I don't think you can have a false start.
A player did slip.
Can we have that slow down, please, if we're going to replay? Thank you. Let's see.
Oh, and that's a delay of game. That's
Delay of game.
So now we're looking at 3rd and 17. And now the Jags can play back a little bit.
Now you could cover the first down marker here. Like, now you don't have to send 7 people to blitz the quarterback. You could say, yeah, we're going to blitz 4 and let our pass rush do its thing, and we're going to dare you to throw the ball on 3rd and 17. But with that great running back, Jaden Brown, if he picks up 7 yards, 7 to 10 yards, you could easily go for it on 4th down.
And they're to throw it over the middle and just too far. And I don't think this is
4th down territory.
Especially now it's not 4th down territory, but even if they got, unless it was a 4th and closer to maybe 3 or 4, I don't think they would have gone for it. But as you can see here, both running backs in the backfield again. Takes it, has a little bit of time. Good throw, 5 just not quite there.
He should have waited 5 more seconds to throw the ball because he had 5 more seconds. The running back would have came out here and he would have had a flat to throw to the running back.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, you know, as commentators we see this, it's always rough for the quarterback. And that's good snap, good punt, and he might have a chance to receive this, but it's going to take a bounce, and that is a pretty horrible bounce for Memorial. That's not the bounce he was hoping for.
Albert DeSanleandro will just let that ball roll out. So I remember last week we almost had a really bad happening where it hit one of the Jags players and it almost got a turnover. So as you see here, he's just going to let it bounce and let it hit. As you can also hear that crowd again. That crowd, that Jag Nation is going all over the place.
Yeah, and that was a, I believe, 54-yard punt. Pretty good punt there, and especially for high school. And high school punting and kicking can get a little bit iffy sometimes. Even extra points can't seem to be much of a gimme.
Where's the ball?
And they ran it up the middle. He was able to get maybe 2-3 yards there.
Sometimes it's hard to see where the ball is because everyone's running and it's just like so hard. Let's take another look at that. So it's a handoff to Aiden Sweeney, I believe. He's going to get up the middle.
And a good spin move by him, just able to go in. Get it.
And there's us with the glorious drone shot. That's shot by Mr. Noble right now. And Mr. Frone is directing the shoot tonight.
And it's a little bit of an odd crew, I will say, on this Friday night. We have 4 former students, including myself. But, you know, you got to get these games done. And this is one of the ones that I'm sure people are happy that we are filming. And now is a chance with the Jags. On a 2nd and 6, you can get a little bit creative. It's not quite what I consider a 2nd and short, but a 2nd and medium, you can try to go for a little bit of throws downfield, or you could go for the run, and that's where this offense can become a little bit unpredictable, as I believe timeout will be called.
I think a timeout is called here. Was it Jackson timeout or Southern timeout?
Not quite sure. Not many signs from the officials, but
they don't have the Jackson still has 3 timeouts. Southern still has 2 because they already used one. So
our first Jaguar fun fact of the day
I'm not sure.
honors 25 years of service to the Jackson Jaguar sporting community.
And Rams are going to want to go for this. They definitely want to get this stop here. Don't want to give them any momentum, especially going into the second half. And it can really be such a momentum killer if the Jags don't come away with points before halftime and then the Rams get the ball back, especially the momentum, I would think, is already pointing towards the Rams, even though they did get a 3 and out, so it's not quite fully there, but well,
many titles in wrestling, soccer.
This is what I don't get it. Like, is there like water breaks in football? I've never seen a water break in football. So like, this is what I'm not getting. Because the timeout, it still says over there on the scoreboard, it still says 3-2 timeout. So that's so weird that I haven't. Usually they call a timeout. Maybe they were taking their time on the play clock, maybe. But
yeah, it could have been something, an equipment failure or something. Not entirely sure, but clock running again, which to me means not a timeout, that the clock's still running. So, I don't know. Something interesting happened.
Maybe the equipment failed or something like that, and they had to fix it or something like that.
Now
you know, there's a lot of
the
technical
snap, hands
problems.
it off to the side. He doesn't have a lot of room, but he's able to get a few yards off of it.
Yes. Here we go. I believe that is Aiden Sweeney on the carry again.
And he's having himself a night. He's, you know, he hasn't been getting big gains, but he's definitely been getting gains. And there he's going to move forward, get yard or two, 3rd and 4 now.
I'd rather have a running back that gets me 2 or 4 yards per carry than one running back that broke me 180-yard run to the touchdown. But in some games, I might want that one running back that's got me the 80-yard touchdown because it's all situational. But right now, for the Jackson, I'd rather have that running back that's establishing the run game, keep getting that 3 to 4 yards per carry so they can.
And there was a really late snap there, so I'd assume false start on the offense, which isn't going to be what they want. And yeah, I saw before the quarterback had the ball, the entire O-line was moving. But yeah, it looks like they'll be backed up. False start on the offense. 3rd down and 9 now, and now that's where it gets a little bit rough because your run game hasn't been that good. They've been able to get yards, but hasn't been good enough that you trust it on a 3rd and 9. And
well, what's good is that a false start, it means like the play never happened. So
yeah.
So it's just like, all right, it's just a 5-yard penalty. I know it's 3 and 4 is a lot better than 3 and 9, but at least you didn't lose that down. Like now you still have that down to play around with. Because what if you get 8 yards here? You could go for it on 4th and 1 here and keep the momentum going in your favor. So we got to see what Jackson does here, and they're lining up in shotgun form. Oh, another false start. I saw that one here. 73 moved.
And
yep.
that's just, you know, it's another one of those.
That's going to hurt Jackson. Now I have a question for you. I haven't watched football in a little while. Does false start stop the clock?
No.
Or do they just restart?
Whatever the state of the clock was beforehand, it continues.
It
So this
continues
clock,
from there?
The clock is going to run again.
All right.
So
Because I know some penalties stop the clock and some penalties don't stop the clock. So just wanted to make sure with you.
And yeah, that's honestly almost 2 minutes off the clock before another play. Has plenty of time throwing it down the sideline.
Oh!
Just overthrows the receiver. And that's a problem with some of the. There is a flag on the play.
Uh-oh.
Not sure who it's against. It is
Roughing the
by
passer?
the line of scrimmage.
Usually when flags are thrown in the backfield, they usually are against roughing the passer.
Yeah.
That's a 15-yard penalty. That's a first down. We're going to watch this replay here. Let's see. No, that's the false start. We want to go forward. The next replay. Sorry, we're having a lot of technical difficulties today with all our shoots today, so we apologize for that.
And that'll give them a 1st and 10, and they're going to take the look stars. But one of the things like that is it doesn't necessarily give the spark to the offense like a earned first down was. And that's not saying that they didn't earn it, but sometimes that's not quite a momentum builder. And flag?
No, I think timeout.
Oh,
Timeout.
Is he going to pick up? What is?
Moving chain. I think they're taking their time to move the.
And that is a penalty against the Rams for a sideline warning because they were too close to the field. And that's
Gotta stay off that field. You got to make sure there is a yellow line for a reason, especially in the NFL. I see this a lot. Those players I know they like to inch up, but you have to make sure you stay behind because like that, there you go. It should be that's another penalty that just costs Southern another yards. And now number 29 is going to take the handoff. He's got a hole and he's going to get the first down.
No, it's going to be
short.
But that's a good jet sweep there. That's twice that they've pulled that off, and that one worked out a lot better. He was able to take it towards the sideline. As you can see, movement before the play starts, and good picked up block by number 5, able to get through the hole. Doesn't get tripped up at all until number 3, Jaden Brown, all over the field tonight, is able to bring him down. Now with a 2nd and 3, and this is another one where you could try to take a shot downfield. And let's take a look from above, and that's a really interesting view because you can see that the entire
everything
play is
happening.
towards the side. And they're going to run it up the middle. They're going to get themselves a first down, and now this is where Southern Regional, those penalties
are gonna hurt them now because
really
look
is.
about that. You had a 3rd and 14 turn into a 4th down if you didn't hit the quarterback. But I understand sometimes when you see that quarterback, you want him. Like I know defensive players. Like many of my friends play football and the defensive players, and when they see that quarterback, they want it. They just want that ball. They want that quarterback. And
he's target number 1.
But you got to make sure you got to protect the quarterback. You can't hit him in a certain spots.
He's going to keep it for himself. Now a QB sneak. He's able to move forward 4 and fighting for more. And I don't think he's going to quite get much more than that. But good run there. And that's a good drawn play there. And just a good run by Ty Mann, keeping the ball for himself, able to get away from 33, and even then, able to somehow push the pile past the 40-yard line before getting brought back. 2nd and 5 now.
Alrighty, with 6:35 remaining in the second half of play, Ty Mann's gonna keep it. He's gonna get up the middle,
and he's still somehow on his feet. Gonna go down to the side. Missed tackle. Huge play by the Jags. Continuing to run down the field.
Ooh, that could be a late hit at that end there. That could have been an illegal hit. I don't know.
That is a huge run.
But that's exactly what Jackson needed there. They needed a nice big gain of yards. Now here, they gotta put it in the end zone here. If you go,
Ty Mann does look a little bit shaken. Looks like he'll be fine. And as you can see, takes the snap, sees a hole, and runs through it somehow. Able to get out of being wrapped up by number 42. Stays on his feet. A good block by the O-line, just giving him room to run. Number 12 there, just not
now
quite
Jaguars
able to get hands on it.
Are going to call the timeout here.
And there from inside the 20, he just had room to go, and pretty clean there. It'll be 1st and goal from the 6-yard line, and Jags gonna want to punch it in here. And one thing, the Jags, there is some time left on the clock, and the Jags defense now is gonna be tasked with a pretty daunting of trying to stop the Rams, assuming the Jags score with around 5 minutes left. Trying to stop the Rams from scoring would be difficult, and Rams to receive on the second half, it's again big.
Now I am looking at this stat sheet for Southern here. A lot of their defensive players are their starting offensive players. So that could also be they're tired now too because they've been on the field for the last 8 minutes. So they're only going to get maybe like a 3-second sip of some Gatorade, or like they're not going to have that long of a time to refresh. Like Jackson's defense has been sitting on that bench just getting energy, getting all that stuff. So they're ready to go back onto that field. So this should be great, and I think Southern's gonna call a timeout here. They didn't like what they saw, and
yeah, and that's where it becomes interesting. The fact that a lot of these players, you see some of these athletes that you can tell wherever you look at them, wherever they are, you can tell that some of these are star athletes, and they will always you will always want to keep them on the field. You don't want to take these guys out because, I mean, Ty Mann, the quarterback, has made quite a handful of tackles. He's been at quarterback, and the passing game really hasn't been there. And, credit to him, especially. And some of these quarterbacks, if you put them on defense, it's like putting wide receivers that transition to quarterbacks. They know other offenses, and they can read plays before they're even called.
That's my opinion. I think every quarterback should at least be able to run the running backs routes and wide receivers routes, so the quarterback knows where to place the ball. And now Aiden Sweeney's going to run it up the middle. He's going to keep pounding, and I believe he's going to get 2 yards.
Southern's going to come out with the ball. We're going to see what the call is. The Rams seem to think they have it. But Jags don't seem to have What reaction?
I think the ref is. I think Jags are staying on the field. So let's look at a replay of this.
As you can see, he runs it up the middle. Not much room to go. It's gonna go down, and
Really can't see anything. And I think everyone thinks that they got the ball. I think he might have been down. His knee might have been down, or his butt was down before he ripped the ball out. But the ball did come out. I don't know if he was already down yet, but the refs called him down, so play continues. So he got 3 yards on that carry here. Now Aiden Sweeney is lining up. He's going to get the handoff again. He's going to run out to the right side. He's going to be tackled by more Southern players, and he's getting a gain of a 1 yard line. Now, Jackson here. You're 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 here. You might be thinking a pass play here.
yeah, it could shake it up a little bit. 3rd and 3, the run game, they were able to get, a few yards over the pass, too. You just don't know. And it's not about, trusting your running backs. You know that they can get those 3 yards. It's just sometimes with the Rams defense looking as good as they've been looking, and the Jags have been coming with a good drive here, and you can make an argument for this being 4th down territory. And the quarterback's just going to keep it, and on a quick play, that's a 1st down. The Jag Nation going nuts, and that's just, talk about trusting the running game. Time man.
As now you see those players trying to get the energy up, and as now if I'm looking over at Southern's half of the field, they were just ecstatic 3 seconds ago. Now they're silent. As you see that, I think that's the offensive lineman that had it, or fullback. Oh, that is Ty Man. Yep.
And that drive. That just shows that Ty Man can do whatever he wants. He had a 20-25 yard run earlier. Had another one where he got 4 or 5, and that I believe was good.
That was good, but
almost blocked, and then it's close one. And once again, that's where in high school football, these extra points in practice they can nail them, but when it comes to the actual game, it gets a little iffy out there.
I would like to see a replay. Oh, okay, here comes the kick. And it gets, oh no, he just kicked it very, very low. He didn't put any power on that kick.
And he's able to get it through, and that's his job out there. So that's one interesting thing is the kicker position. It's interesting from high school, college, NFL. It's, you never think about in professional, you never think about the kicker, but it can make such a big difference. Like, I'm not sure if you watched, there was the first NFL game last night, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Tampa Bay Bucks, and 2 missed field goals and a missed extra point led the Tampa Bay Bucks to win by a game-winning field goal. And it just shows that special teams, while little people think about it, and kickers never seem to be talked about, a good kicker can make a good team great.
I do say this all the time. I do say this a lot. Special teams sometimes is the most important position, team unit on the field at any time, because a lot of points usually come through special teams. Think about it. The opening play of the game is on special teams. So if you have to think about it, they have to get a good yard position to start the offense. So special teams is a very good way to set the tone of the game.
And that's one rule that I get in professionals that I don't exactly. That's a kind of a short kick. He's going to get brought down around the 23. But as I was saying, one rule in the professionals that I'm not sure I like, I understand, but it's the fact that they move the kickoff to the 35, and now more often than not, the kick is going out of the back of the end zone with no chance of return. And I get it because kickoffs tend to have a lot of injuries on them, and in high school it's at the 40, and that makes sense. But as you can see, he's just running into 3 or 4 Jags, and once again, that hit a little bit late. You get 1 or 2 more people to dive on him, and looking at concussions and stuff, and it's just not. Football is not an easy sport, and it is a physically challenging sport. So, but 4 minutes 33 left on the clock, tied 7-7, 1st down and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Here we go, and that running back's got it. He's still going, and he's going to be, no, he was down, he was trying to, I saw him get down. He tried to get up and keep going, but I guess you played to the whistle, I guess, too.
Yeah, and you really do, and that's, I was watching some of the plays, and a lot of the weirdest plays are the ones where players just fall down and no one touches him. And he just gets back up. And there a good pitch out to the side, a good read by him, able to break one tackle, and then is able to run through the two of them, move forward, get across the 30, and he's able to get the first down there. And yeah, his knees down, but yep, play to the whistle, and that's the type of run that they're going to want more of.
But that's also, delay of game? Unsportsmanlike conduct?
Not entirely sure.
It's one of those two. I can tell. I definitely tell you one of those two. Oh, false start. I wasn't thinking false start here.
And now 1st and 15 for the Rams, and the Jags, they like that call.
Now it's going to be 1st and 15 with 4 minutes remaining. And on the 27-yard line, Jackson needs a really big stop here, and they get it.
Yeah. Huge one. Once again, this running game is not looking how I believe they want it to.
Led by number 44, Thomas Wadowski, and a host of Jaguars.
As we're going to take another look at this replay, as you see here, he's going to get it, but Jackson is just going to be boom. And Jackson knows right now that their only way to win this game right now is to stop Jaden Brown and make sure Jaden Brown doesn't keep the ball rolling. And Jackson's got to keep the ball rolling down the field.
And here they have two plays in the backfield. Might be jet sweep. The quarterback going to keep it for himself at number 11. Read that the entire way. Throw a little bit high, and he's going to get brought to the sideline and out of bounds. And second.
In my opinion, number 11, he should have went a little closer to the quarterback. If we have a replay, I'll show you what I mean. The quarterback, he kind of played off the quarterback too much. Yeah. That he gave the quarterback enough room to make the play, I would say.
And that's one of those things, though, where...
Here we go. As we're going to see here. Watch number 11. Where is he? I think he's right there.
And he reads that play through and through, and good by him. And I think he just slightly misstepped there.
Yeah.
And I think
that just took off his balance, probably.
And, we're able to get a good gain there. 3rd and 6. And interesting to see whether they call a run here, because their running game seems to be a little bit 50-50, drops back in the pocket, throws down deep right side, has a wide open receiver, and gets brought down. And that is a rough one for the Jags to give up on a 3rd down. That's good play there.
That's going to hurt Jackson in the long run.
Yeah, that's a good 20, 30 yards there. And drops back, has some time. Good, perfect spiral. He's able to get himself off of it, and that's once again where the fatigue comes in. That's a wide receiver and defensive back there, and that wide receiver just was able to outrun him.
Now you can hear Southern chanting, "Let's go Brown, let's go Brown, let's go Brown." He's that lead running back, and now they're going to give it to the fullback, and the fullback's going to break one for the house. Ty Man's chasing him down, but he's not going to get there on time. But in my opinion, it's a good thing that Southern scored. It's a bad thing that Southern scored, but they did leave 2 minutes on the clock. Could that be enough time for Jackson to get the ball to time this up? Because Jackson did start with the ball. Remember that, guys. So Southern does get the ball. So Jackson does have to equalize quickly here so they don't go down halftime, especially going down by 2 scores after halftime.
Yeah, and they're going to want to equalize and hopefully at least get a field goal. And they're just a beautifully run play. The O-line did a phenomenal job. And
almost blocked too. It went right. I think it went through the hand, the fingertips of number 6. We got a replay of that. I'd like to see that replay if we do.
And number 6, Albert D'Alessandro, has been having himself quite a night. I mean, he's done a good amount on the offense. Was targeted on a few passes that were just overthrown, but he just kind of seems to be everywhere, as well as Ty Man. And that's where both of them, being juniors, this Jaguars team does look to be relatively young. Not many seniors. Number 4, Justin Hirsch, seems to be one of their only seniors on the team, and that's a good sign. Liberty had that, I believe, 2 years ago. They had a fairly young team, and that team came in, and I believe that's the team that beat Memorial the 1 year to.
Here we go. Here's the replay.
They're coming.
Oh, number 6, off by a hair, off by 2 steps. I think if number 6 was 2 steps earlier, that's 13-7 right now. As now you hear our marching band trying to get our team behind the net right now, behind the field goal, trying to get our team pumped up to try to return this. Here we go. And boom! The kick is underway. And you hear that Jag Nation doing the football chant. Uh-oh.
And they're going to break out. Go down the sideline. He's able to get to the 40.
He's
30.
got a blocker.
And that's a touchdown. And we were just talking about special teams. And there you go.
We were just talking about special teams being the most important. I definitely want to see a replay of that. But what I just say that Jackson needs to score quick and equalize quick. And I wasn't talking about this quick, but that is insane. That's some Will Towns kind of stuff right there.
And that's
who is that? Number 29.
That is Jaden Hernandez, and a really, really good play by him.
Let's watch this kick.
Good kick, went kind of high, and honestly, he didn't have much room to go, but he was able to just find a hole up the middle. I don't think he had a hand on him the entire time. And number 6 right down.
He's got a number 6 was his blocker.
Man. Right there where the Jags realize it.
All right, right after this kick, here comes the kick underway.
And 13-14, that's a huge momentum changer. And
the kick is good.
Good, and not as close as the other ones, but it's an incredible play there.
And now, Mr. Noble wants to take you on a tour of the JTV bus, and here we go. Oh, that's the cheerleaders. we want Mr. Noble taking us on a tour of the JTV bus. Nope, that's the football team.
My kids had a moment.
Oh, there they are.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello, and it's a beautiful night out. We haven't really talked about it. It was a little bit windy before, and of course, JTV bus always there directing. We have our sideline special cam, Mr. Frone, just lounging, doing his thing.
There's our graduated student Keith NVQ. Dylan today had his first ever directing shoot today, and then right down there is Ryan. He's a newcomer today. And there's Mr. Noble. He's doing our wonderful drone shots. We love what he does, and same thing with Mr. Ferome as well.
And one camera that we do miss is I'm not sure how many of you remember it, but we did have the sideline camera, the one that people held, and the camera that would go on the wire. Those are both really cool cameras that hope we get back. Of course, have problems with them, and they're difficult to do, but when we get them done, they look great.
They look awesome.
But 14-14, huge momentum shift, and that's a squib kick. And they don't want to let a return happen. And that's not a terrible call there. Especially at the 36-yard line, it's not bad. I mean, the Rams have had a few decent returns. 2 minutes left, and especially with how the Rams have favored the run game, it could be really good for them. That there's not a lot of time left. And
I think he was trying an onside kick here, maybe, to try to get the ball. No, that's more of a squib. He put a lot of power on that.
And 2:10 left on the clock. The Rams, this is where they have an interesting thing. It's where when you have such a phenomenal running back, it almost feels dumb not to hand it off to him. They do hand it off to him. He's able to kind of get to the outside, and that's
the thing I hate about this kid.
Well,
he broke 3 tackles.
Yeah, that's phenomenal run by him. And they, they shut me up on me asking whether they should run the ball or not. They're gonna run the ball when they want, and that's 40-yard gain. No, sorry, 20-yard gain there, and that's what they need. That's a momentum builder, and that Jags momentum kind of went out the window.
Yeah.
And takes a snap, and there.
Breaks.
And
there's the first tackle
credit
broken.
to number 14. He's able to stay on it, but number 29 needed to get there. And some of these linebackers, there's just no chance of him getting on it. And Ty Mann, once again, he's out there.
Ty Mann is the one who actually eventually brought him down, too. And we're going to hand it off. Ooh, I think that's a false start. I think I saw number 76 jump. But I could be wrong, though.
And yeah, I believe that would be false start on number 73. And those are the plays, though, that could end up being really bad, especially injury-related, when half the team realizes what's happening and stops moving, the other half is still playing. It's
especially last night during the NFL opener, the Tampa Bay Bucks gave up like 45 yards due to just penalty yards alone. So sometimes penalty yards can be a killer for some teams.
Oh, even in this game, we saw the Jags on a 3rd and 15, an incomplete pass that brought them forward, and then they got brought forward again. And penalties,
kept going forward.
penalties, the Jags definitely winning on that side. Gonna hand it up off the middle, and he's not going anywhere.
Now that's the stuff Jackson needed. That's going to keep the time rolling. And if I'm Jackson here, I'm okay going into halftime 14-14 because
definitely.
We stopped the run game and we're holding and we're tied with them.
Yeah.
But the Rams do get the ball back at the beginning of the next half. So it might be okay to be tied, but I would like to be up. Of course, you'd always like to be up, but.
Yeah. And the clock did continue to run. We're looking at 55 seconds left, and it's a little bit interesting. There's the clocks, and gonna drop back, looking to find someone, not able to, scrambles, using his legs, not quite able to find someone, and he's just gonna throw that away.
Ooh!
And flag.
Is that
intentional grounding?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And there you go. Once again, penalties really hurting the Rams, and they're good move by the quarterback. Had plenty of time in the pocket, scanning the field, not able to find anyone. Used his legs, get out to the side, and
intentional grounding. That is what the flag is.
And that's a killer for him.
That brings up a 3rd down. Timeout, Southern Regional.
And timeout coming in from Southern Regional.
Because that would have been a 15-second runoff there.
Yeah.
Because that is intentional grounding, because you're intentionally trying to stop the clock, and you can't do that unless you're outside of the tackle zone.
And 43 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be a rough one. They're really going to have to look to pass it and towards the sidelines. That's a 3rd and 30. And unless that's a this side, nope, that's a 3rd and 30. And that giant run gets completely knocked off the board. And the Rams, something I think they're going to cover in halftime is wiping out these penalties, because they're hurting. And on a 3rd and 30, honestly, the Jags, honestly, kind of surprised that the Rams took a timeout. I don't know if they want to give the ball back to the Jags. Give them a chance to punt return? I'm not sure that's something that they want to do.
In my opinion, I would say here, I would just cover deep. I would have like 6 men in the backfield and have 4 or 5 men blitzing. So you want to put most of your men in the backfield right now, because you got 30 yards to play with, especially on 3rd down. The last thing you want to do is just beat down the deep side of the field. That was a very tongue twister to say. That was a B's and D's all in the same 3-word sentences.
And now he's going to snap the ball, drop back, look to throw to the side. It's complete. Oh, no, it's not. He's not able to haul that one in. Not at all. And number 6, once again, I feel like I'm saying his name more and more on the coverage there. He did give him a chance to take that ball, but bring it out. As you can see, takes the snap, drops back, not much of a pocket to work with. Finds the receiver he wants downfield, didn't look anywhere else, and they're able to get onto it, and just a good hit, hitting him in the arm. 36 seconds left. Jags going to get the ball back, 2 timeouts. Depending on how far this punt goes, you could be looking at something interesting, especially with punt return.
Wait, is it not a punt? Oh, it is a punt. Okay. You do have 2 timeouts here if you're Jackson.
Don't have a returner. I did notice that, and I don't know what happened.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that was bad. That's why I was confused, because I did not see a return man.
Yes.
Because there wasn't one.
Maybe Jackson thought, like, you know what? I think we're just gonna knee the ball anyway, because the Rams don't have timeouts. If you're Jackson here, do you just knee the ball, take this into halftime here, and just let this go out to halftime, or do you? I
think now you do. I think before maybe not if you got some sort of return, but that ball took
it's in your own 5-yard line, so. As now Jackson is just going to knee the ball out and let the time tick down. And that's going to be the end of the half, I should say.
And now we'd like to toss it to a news package made by Olivia. She's a senior here at Memorial, and it's about the band at the pep rally they had. And the pep rallies have always been a huge part of what the Jags are, especially with the band. So should be good. And, of course, after that, don't forget, we always have the halftime show that the Memorial Band puts on. So, stick around.
The students of Jackson Memorial High School have been practicing in preparation for today's pep rally or their second home game.
I'm really excited about the band going back into the stadium and having interactions with both the crowds, the cheerleaders, and the football team. I think that although we got to play last year, just getting back into the immersive experience, I think that's the most exciting part for us. And I think the kids are going to have even more fun than they did last year.
This was the first time both the marching band and the Jackson Memorial cheerleaders were able to show the school their talents as they walked around the outside of the building performing different pep tunes. Drum majors of the Jackson Memorial Jaguar Band, are you excited for the marching band to take the field tonight?
Absolutely. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, this is the first time in a while, really, that the band gets to perform in front of everyone, and it's such a good show, and I'm so excited for everyone to see it.
starts next week at Hillsborough High School, and our home comp is right here on October 9th. Hope to see you there.
Mellow! Mellow! They're like, yeah!
Guys, remember we're going to our spot. I noticed that. Girl, I almost do that.
I know it's our anniversary dinner. I'll be there in a couple minutes. I'll text you when I'm in the car. Bye, Mom. See you later.
Don't text and drive.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
You didn't stop.
I know, but my girlfriend, she's mad at me. I had to text her.
It's my first day of school.
He's only 7.
I know, but I was looking down at my phone. I can't stop. I'm sorry.
Everyone's doing their part. Mask up. Visit www.cdc.gov for more information.
The world has been a very different place since early 2020 due to the coronavirus pandemic, and people have faced many challenges at home and at work. While some people have been given the opportunity to work from home, others did not have that luxury, having to go out and risk their health for the well-being of others. These workers quickly became known as essential workers, critical professionals, many of which just under a year ago went largely unnoticed and often underappreciated.
We were hit hard. The pandemic really changed the way we operated our business. I work at Dave's. We operate 2 restaurants close to the Jersey Shore, and we've been able to stay open during the pandemic.
Since the pandemic has started, our work has become more essential, especially with some crimes spiking with others. The biggest one has been domestics. People being quarantined, people being, say, shut down, being told you have to stay at home, can't leave.
When I first heard about the essential businesses open, I knew we were going to be open the entire time. This grocery store and grocery in general, it never stops. And it's a constant supply and demand, especially for the people, especially during a crisis.
I work at a pediatrician's office. I am a nurse, an RN. Because of COVID, we are all masked at all times. If we're doing patient testing, we are double masked. We wear goggles or face shields. We are social distance with our colleagues, which has been difficult. Sometimes you're on lunch break and you just want to hang out with one of the other nurses, and we all have to make sure we're socially distanced, especially because we have no mask on at that time.
Our protocols were changed all across the board. No indoor dining, we had to wear masks, and cleaning had to be done all the time. And I mean, all the time. But people needed to eat, and we needed to continue to work as hard as we could to serve the community of the Jersey Shore. Our business has definitely shifted from mostly in-person dining to delivery and takeout. People ordering on DoorDash, which is allowing our business to stay alive, but is doing what's essential in keeping people fed during this time.
We have to take a lot more precaution and use different technologies that we've never had before. The biggest one is wearing masks. To roll up to a scene, maybe we have to have our mask on initially, and trying to converse with somebody is a little harder now with a mask. So we had to adjust to that, but just knowing that I still have to do some kind of aid, and I can't worry if they have COVID or not.
Around March, it really kind of hit hard. The whole nation went into lockdown, and everybody pretty much flocked to the store. We've had to hire a ton of new people, and it's just been crazy here, nonstop.
When it started to get really bad, it was pretty scary because we just didn't know how it was going to affect our patients. We see patients from newborns to 26, so we see a lot of little people, and we didn't know if it was going to get bad for them, if it was going to get bad for us.
So much of our work that we do is essential, whether or not we have a pandemic or not. From the time we start our shift to the time we end, we are constantly getting called for service, people call headquarters. But regardless of what's going on, we still have to go.
202 Jackson, I'll be en route to that crash.
We can't say, okay, we can't help you out because you have COVID. I can only stand 6 feet away from you. Meanwhile, you have a heart attack. We have to get hands-on.
I still remember when the pandemic first started getting bad. There was one elderly man that came in after I finished checking out his groceries. he said, "Hey, thank you for being here." And it really kind of hit me because it was just, again, just the job, just something to pay the bills. And now it's people are really reliant on us now. And I'm just happy to be helping everyone out as much as I can.
It's crazy to think that little restaurants like ours could suddenly be providing essential services to people. But here we are, preparing food for hundreds of families all across the Jersey Shore every day.
I can't stress enough as far as us being essential workers that you know, we have to answer our calls. We have to answer our calls. We're in it to help people. Whenever the phone rings and people call for help, we are coming. Again, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's a snowstorm, whether it's an active shooter, we are coming to the problem. We have to come to the problem. We can't sit there and say, again, that, you know, there's a COVID going on. I'm going to hold off until the active shooter's done.
While the pandemic seems to be slowing, there is no end in sight. Our essential workers will continue doing what needs to be done.
Welcome back to JTV's Game of the Week. I'm Steve Ifantis.
I'm Brian Morgano, and you know, after an incredible run back by the Jags to put it to 14-14, the Rams are set to receive. The Rams did go on a 3-and-out that was riddled by penalties that ended on a 3rd and 30.
As right now you're just hearing Jag Nation getting this team pumped up for the second half, as now number 12 is going to take this carry, and he's got a gap in the middle, and he keeps going, but he's going to be eventually tackled by 3 Jackson players. And that, I believe that's going to be stopped at the 40.
Andy Folletta there, you know, not a bad return at all, taking it to the 40, and that's one of those ones where it was close, you know, that one player brings him down, but if he just doesn't quite lay a hand on him, that's end zone, and you know, especially he's going to really set it up, and that'll bring it to the 37. And, you know, it's been a really good game so far. And I'd like to see a little bit more passing from the Jags. I will say they do have a good offense. The defense has been holding off decently well. They're going to hand that one off on a jet sweep. Number 52 looks to be all over, and they're going to bring him down way in the backfield. And good play by them. Jags read it all the way, and it's good.
One thing that I said last half, well, right after this replay, I'll continue. As you see here, he gets a jet sweep, and he's just going to get stuffed right there. And stopping the run is going to be huge for Jackson, in my opinion, because right now Southern has proved they can throw the ball, but they're basically relying on that run game with the 2 running backs, the wide receiver that can run jet sweeps. Like we've seen it today, that the fullback scored, the running back scored, and the wide receiver got a good 20 yards. So,
and there it is. There's the running back, finds a gap up the middle, and he is gone. There's no one within 10 yards of him, and he'll bring it to the house, and that's 20-14 now, and that's how the Rams wanted to start this, and they got what they wanted, and committing to slow down the run, you know, they hoped to do it, but they weren't able to pull it out.
And those cheerleaders are unhappy now because they got to go do 20 push-ups, unfortunately. they do every time a team scores, they have to do that many, the score of that many push-ups, so and keeps them in good condition, I would say, but I don't think they're happy about the other team scoring.
I know, on a night like this, I don't know if you'd find any football players doing 20 push-ups.
21, it could be 21 in a second. We won't know yet. And he's got it.
That's, you know, I mean, those explosive plays, they happen, and a lot of times, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that, and that's where in football, especially quarterbacks a lot of times, they need to have short memories. Even the defense has to do it as well, but you know, you throw the interceptions, you get turnovers, you let them get a huge play like that, a 60 yards run, and you just got to shake it off, go back, play the next game, because the game's not stopping. So, and that's where coaches can come in, and coaches can make the difference in those situations.
That's why Bill Belichick is one of the greatest greatest coaches in the NFL history, because he knows how to use his players correctly, and he knows how to get his players when they're down or made a mistake. He knows, hey, don't go make that same mistake. Hey, this time instead of going for the ball, go for the person, because most of the times you'll get the person instead of the ball. So,
and that's 1 minute in here to the second half, and the Rams already showing that they're here and they're playing. And this, you know, the Rams, they won 40-0 the last game.
41-0.
21-14. It's the Jags are keeping it in there, but you could definitely see how the Rams scored that many points, and that and the Jags have a decent defense. So.
Yes, but I have to commend Jackson because they are holding in with this high-powered offense. Oh God, this could be bad.
And he's able to pick it up, actually, get somewhat of a return off of it. Gets to the 10. The ball took a little bit of a weird bounce, but you know he's able to bring it up. He would have liked to return that, but you know that's the one thing about football that makes it different from all other sports, with the fact that the football shape, it's just reading a bounce. No one can do it 100% of the time, and even when it comes into his hands, it's not
fully stopped
perfect
yet.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's rough as quarterbacks. And you know, you always see in the NFL and a lot of times in college, you see the perfect spirals, and you kind of wonder how much does it help. And it helps a lot when the receiver, a lot of times that receivers tend to drop passes. They tend to be rushed low, maybe not a spiral, the ball sideways. It's rough being a receiver, and it's rough being a quarterback. And
here we go.
Receivers going out to the side. Quarterback's going to keep it for himself, and probably wishing he handed that one off.
Yeah.
Not able to do much with that. And Ty Man, he's 6 foot 180, so he might not look that big on the field, but he's definitely a big guy and can definitely hold it up. But that's phenomenal tackle, holding him on the line, and Jags can say at least they got back to the line. And honestly, here I'm hoping to see the Jags go to the air. I feel like it'd be not as expected, but I feel like it could be a good play. They had a few plays where it very much seemed like they could have gotten 30 yards on a few passes, and they just weren't quite able to. But
what you don't see many in like high school football that I commend Ty Man for, Ty Man is able to put his body on the line. He is not scared of being hit. That's one thing I like about Ty Man so much, that he is not scared of getting hit. Like, he understands, like, yo, it's football. I'm gonna be knocked on the ground. I better get myself back up.
And football's one of those sports, but they're great handoff up the middle. He's able to pull it, and that's one of those runs that there are some runs that you never expect to get you the 20-yard gains, the 30-yard gains, the breakaway touchdowns, and some of those runs, and that was one of them. And he got 5 yards. He did what the play was supposed to do. And see what they do here. Quarterback alone in the backfield, throws it off to the side to number 5.
Aiden Sweeney.
He's got a little bit of room up the sideline before getting pushed out of bounds. And that's a good play by him. And phenomenal play calling. Able to get it to the side, bring it out, and good by them. First down Jags, a little bit of momentum building, and there you could see it's probably meant to be a screen pass, but they had to commit to stopping the pass rush, and he just had room to run. And that's one of the good things about having a running back who can catch and who's good at route running. And I feel like that's something that tight ends and running backs have seemed to become a lot bigger in the game. And it's just, they can do whatever you want them to.
It's going to be handed off to Aiden Sweeney again. He's going to find the hole, and he's going to carry 2 offensive linemen on his back. 2 defensive linemen on his back to get another 5 yards. That should be 2nd and 5, I should believe. Yes, it should be. And I think Jackson here, they're keeping the good momentum. I think they got to keep the ball rolling. I think they also have to score a touchdown. But as you saw, that Rams are able to score quick and fast, and which they will probably do. But that's okay. Your defense is going to sit and get rested more. So if you could stay with them by holding off the time, you might be able to win more of the game. You got to win this game in time management and time of possession. And Ty Man's going to take it right up the middle. He's staring, he's spinning, he got a first down and way more.
And, you know, there it is. That's where sometimes that halftime can make a huge difference. Even though the Rams came out and scored, that, you know, it really doesn't mean anything. A lot of times, but this game in particular is very offensive sided, and the offenses have been seeming to do a lot of work and on the ground here. And, you know, especially when you have a good running back and quarterback that can run, you get these RPO options, and a lot of these options, these quarterbacks can do whatever they want with the ball, and that's where the game becomes a little bit more dangerous, but it gets a lot more explosive. Now he's going to keep it, roll out to the side, throw it to a wide open receiver. He's going to get a few yards, truck through him, pick up a few more.
Now that, I know a first down is not, but I think that is now really starting to change the momentum. As we saw here, you couldn't see, but that entire bench of the Jackson was literally like, yeah, and they were like all pumped up, and the entire team was pumped up. That one catch might swing some momentum back into Jackson's favor here, and Jackson definitely needs some momentum going for them right now, and that's all sports. It's just all momentum. That's sports for you.
Yeah. See here lining up. Wouldn't be surprised to see pass. He's going to keep it for himself, and number 42 is not going to get tricked again. That happened before where he just... It gets rough when they do those
when you keep doing
play
those,
actions,
yeah.
and you got to... A lot of these defensive linemen, they just got to pick a guy and go for him, and whether it's right or not, you find out. But good by him to able to get that tackle, and Jags 2nd and 11, and that's a little bit of slowing to the momentum, but not bad for them. And man coming out.
I don't know what's happening right now. Okay, I guess nothing's happening. I don't know what that fist means by the ref. I don't know what that means. I thought that was like a penalty or something like that, so I didn't know. So here comes Ty Mann. He's looking down deep. He's got a receiver beat for the touchdown. Oh, incomplete. He dropped it. That's going to come back and haunt them.
That's one of the annoying things where everyone does everything right. It's a phenomenal route, and sometimes it just slips through your hands. And look, on nights like tonight, I'm not gonna lie, it is cold. It's not as windy as it was. The ground is wet. It's not a. It's a pretty good day for football, but it's not great. It's currently 61 outside, but it really doesn't feel like it, especially with the past few weeks that we've had of it being kind of all over the place. Yeah. But, you know, with a motion in the backfield, taking the ball, throwing it to the side on screen pass, and that's maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And that's going to be a 4th down, I think. 4th and 11. They didn't gain any yards. I swear, one of these guys is wearing golden gloves. So when he made his arm motion like this, I thought there was a flag on the play. I was like, oh, there's a flag. It almost looks like Tyreek Hill's gloves, where when Tyreek Hill does a motion towards the field, it looks like there's a flag, and they're gonna go for it.
Okay, and this is, I do think this is one of the interesting spots in high school where this is, I would assume, just out of field goal range. Out of 4th and 11. I think maybe they gained 4, 5, 6 yards here, and this is a very makeable field goal. But
now here's the thing: this play is either, if they convert it to a first down, this play is genius. If they don't, this play is kind of a failure. So here we go. Ty Mann is looking deep. He's got number 4 wide open. Oh, it's gonna get intercepted.
Hey, but you know, the Rams end up losing 10 yards on that play. So. And that's a win for the Jags, you know?
No, they started at the 30, so they're going to lose.
Yeah, no, they got it at the 20.
Yeah,
so, you know?
So it's like an arm punt, kind of, like an arm punt.
That's one of those
very, very bad arm punt.
That's one of those weird things about football where it's like, well, yeah, you intercepted it, but, you know. And, hey, it'll look good on the stat sheet, and no one's going to be mad at him for intercepting that.
Yeah, no. Now, you get the interception there, because if you don't intercept it and you tip it, number 4 was right there. He could have grabbed it, and he's way bigger than you. Now Jackson needs a stop and a stop quick, because it's 5 minutes left, and Jackson is down by 7, and all the momentum's in Rams' favor right now. So Jackson's got to do something, and that's a good stop.
That's what they need, and you know, one thing that I will say about Ty Mann is he's strong. You can tell by the way that he runs, by the way that he throws, he's strong and he trusts his arm. And I'll say it's a few passes that he's overthrown just by a little bit, and that's one thing that you know, as a junior, you could see later in this year, and hopefully by next year, he turns into a incredible quarterback who, like a lot of these quarterbacks, learn to control their arms, and you know, you hope he's able to do it.
High school, here's the thing between high school and college. High school is really like discovering who you are as a football player, especially if you want to pursue the NFL and all that stuff. You have to find that stuff out now in high school, and that's going to be way overthrown.
And that's...
I didn't want to say anything too early because he was looking like he was going to run on to that. I was about to eat my words, but that one was way overthrown by the quarterback.
Yeah, that's one of those interesting ones where, yeah, he drops back, has a little bit of time, and sometimes you expect your wide receiver to be faster. Sometimes, I mean, a million things can happen on the field, and it comes with even just when you throw up the ball like that, it's all on the receiver and the cornerback. There's nothing you can do, and it's one of the ones where the blame can go on the quarterback really easily, but we don't know the play call, we don't know the route, and yeah.
Here we go now. 4:34 remaining, and I believe it's 3rd and 10. Ball start.
Timeout.
Timeout. Southern. Or Jags take? No, Southern takes a timeout.
And it's one out the Rams. That's one of the timeouts in a game that's been this close and this offense heavy. You don't want to blow your timeouts anywhere but the final 2 minutes. And that's one that is rough, where sometimes you try to get tricky on your 3rd downs. You got to go for something special and try to get it, but he's not quite able to get quite a grasp on what the play was supposed to be, and sometimes it's better to call a timeout than throw an interception or incomplete at that point. And you know, at the 20, you're looking at a punt that might go to the other 40 without a return, and that's...
But you're also looking at how much do they have left on the play clock as well. They could have had 5 seconds left on the play clock, and he was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Let me get a timeout. So I have the play clock resets at 60 now, and I have much more time to discuss with my coach and my players. This is what we want to do here. I would be expecting a pass here, but number 15 breaks off the edge. And incomplete. Oh, no. Is that on Jackson? I think that's on Jackson, because the way the coaches and players are reacting, I think that might be defensive pass interference. Which,
he did not even touch the dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna look at it. I
didn't see anything, but the officials had a better view than me.
It's a rough one. I mean, number 6 got a hand on the ball, so it's hard to say he wasn't going for the ball.
Defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, results in a first down.
And that's,
as you can hear now, all our fans are booing that, because now that's a game changer right there. Now,
yeah, it really is.
Now if that's an incomplete, that's 4th down here. Now they're punting away. Now they got a free 1st down. So that is kind of the game-changing play right there. So now Jackson needs to kind of restart. Now they have to kind of restart what they just did, and Southern gets a 2nd chance at it now. And it's a jet sweep. No, it's not. It's a run up the middle with Brown.
He gets away, and the tie man, the savior, able to just bring him down. And
he's been the savior for Jackson a lot today. He scored the touchdown. He was not the savior when he threw the interception, but I'll let it slide because of all the things he's done. The touchdown, the tackling of Brown. So yeah.
That's a good run. That's where penalties like that, they can change everything. And now a new set of downs at the 47-yard line.
That's the one thing I hate about defensive pass interference, because you never know what is defensive pass interference do. And nice stuff by Jackson there to try to stop this chains. With 3:50 remaining in this 3rd quarter of play, Jackson has to kind of stop them.
And he is able to pick up 3 or 4 there. As you can see in the replay, it's a good run up the middle. He found his gap, went behind his lineman, and used him to push forward. And good job there by the Jags. And one thing that you notice with a lot of linemen is even when they're on the ground, the play's not over. They're grabbing at whoever's ankles they can grab at and bring them down. And a lot of times it's about tying up the feet.
Be a pass at number 11.
Not a lot of room, and that's thrown just high off of his hands. And even if he hauls that in, I don't think he's getting his feet. But now it's 3rd and 7, and the Jags gonna be looking to avoid another catastrophe. But they're hoping to do it, and you know, they might. I don't know what I'd expect from the Rams here. I don't know whether I'd expect pass or run. It's an interesting call. They've had some success with the run. Pass, I feel like, would make more sense, but
I would go with a run here because your run game has been so dominant. And even if it doesn't work, you're running the clock too. Like, the clock keeps running, even though that is a loss. Now you can take at least another 30 seconds off the clock. Plus the kick is going to take another 30 seconds off the clock. So now you have an extra 6. Now Jackson has lost a minute, and they're still down by 7 too. So
this is where it becomes interesting. And you know, you don't want to try to start running the clock too early. You don't want to write it off. But the Jags definitely have time.
But there is no return. Oh, yes, there is. Now I see the return man. I was like, wait, there is no return man for Jackson again. I'm like, is there a punt again? But Jackson is back there.
Once again, that's another bounce. That's really good for Southern. And
he breaks 2 tackles. Breaks 3. Breaks 4. Oh, nope. He lost on the 4th.
And that's one of those incredible plays.
Flag.
Flag on the play. But that's one of those incredible plays that'll kind of be forgotten tomorrow because, you know, he breaks 3 tackles and gains 2 yards out of it. And it's unfortunate for him. But, you know, he made the best out of it.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. I'm thinking it's unsportsmanlike conduct. That's what I'm thinking it is. The ref is it's on the Rams. I don't know what it is.
Huge for the Jags.
Is it unsportsmanlike conduct? It could be.
I believe so. They're, once again, you know, Memorial's just not getting the bounce there. And it does a really good job of keeping himself in bounds.
2,
good 2,
3, 4, and there's the 5th.
That's, you know, now it'll be 1st and 10 at the 30, which is a big game for them, considering that they were at the 10.
You can just see Jags Nation over there. They got the clappers, they got the cowbells, they got the air horns, they just got everything right now. They got the silly string. Like, Jag Nation is pumped up and hoping that is going to change the influence, because they usually, in football, usually the 12th man, they usually say, is the crowd, and that 12th man can be a game changer sometimes.
And credit where credit is due, a lot of people from Southern are here. Their bleacher is relatively full.
Yes.
And now their cheerleaders a band, but now they're going to run it up the middle. He's going to get a few yards before getting brought down.
I have heard Southern's team as well. Their 12th man is here supporting them and being loud, showing that Rams pride, but I would say definitely more people are here for Jag Nation, as near comes the replay of the run up the middle. He gets a couple yards, and then he just gets kind of stuffed here. I think he picked up 4 yards there. That's not a bad carry. Another beautiful shot by Mr. Noble on their drone shot. Reminds me of like the 360 camera that runs on that wire on the NFL. That's what the drone shot kind of reminds me of, because it's like a nice aerial view, but you still can see what's happening and the players and all that stuff. And Aiden Sweeney is going to break another tackle, and he's still going to push for more yards.
And that's another one of those plays that takes 2nd and 6, turns it into a 3rd and 3, and you think they're going to run it again, but question comes to running back, fullback, jet sweep. That's one thing that I've noticed about this Jags offense, is they're not afraid to use their entire roster. And that's something that you like to see from these teams. And there, gets brought down. Time man's receive the snap, and he's going to try to take it himself. And still somehow on his feet, play not whistled dead. And he'll be stopped short.
I think the Jackson players are trying to get him the first, but that's clearly no first for me. I see that from here.
And that's a rough one where...
Go! Are they going to go quickly? Are they going to set it up quickly?
10 seconds ticking on the clock. I doubt that they're going to take this.
Oh, they're trying. They're trying something. Nope, they're not.
Yes, third quarter ends in 14-21. The Rams are getting 7 points in the third quarter, and that's kind of been the way this game has gone. A lot of back and forth, and you hope the Jags score again. You want this to be a close game, and the Jags, they need to stop the Rams, and question whether they're going to go for it. Almost doubt it. 12 minutes left in the game.
It did get a little cold out. Today it was nice in the 70s all day. It did drop down to 60 degrees right now. So it did get a little cold. I don't know if that's going to affect the play right now.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's 61 and it says it feels like 61, but I don't know. It feels a little bit colder.
Maybe we're not used to the cold weather anymore.
I'm not really sure.
We had that nice 4 months of summer, and those last couple weeks we were just 80s, 70s. It was just very weird, and it looks like Jackson's gonna go for it here. 4-2, down by 7. It makes sense to go for it at this point, and there's a nice shot of our band.
And the field position game, it's a little bit questionable. You don't get it, you're giving it to them at the 40. So, but with the ones that they have, I'm not sure giving them the offense the ball at all is a better alternative. They run it with the fullback up the middle.
Got it.
And that's...
I think he got it.
It's going to be up to
That's going to be close. That ref is pointing, one ref is pointing one way, another ref is pointing another way. So...
And it looks like they're going to give it to
Looks like it's a first down for Jackson. Because it was weird. One ref was pointing one way, one ref was pointing the other way, one ref was pointing in the sky, so it was all kind of weirdness there. So, now do you try it deep here for Jackson? Do you just try one to play deep, or do you just run the ball here? So you are down by 7, and time is not on your side. You're on the wrong side of the time. You're on the wrong side of the clock right now.
Yeah, and you do run the problem of, the Jags, I think they're going to want to score fast because they don't want to give a good run out here from Time Man. They want to get forward, and the ball comes out, and
that's going to kill them.
That's Southern all the way. And
that's Southern. That's Southern.
We'd like to see.
Ooh, that's one of the reasons why I don't like QB scrambles.
Yeah.
QBs don't always have the best handling of the ball because they really don't have to run with the ball. So, let's see. There it is. Yeah, no, that's Southern all the way. 3 Southern players got on that ball way before any Jackson player saw that ball.
Yeah, and I think that's, it's one of those plays that it's just unfortunate because a lot of times it could just be a phenomenal play by the defense, and we'll never really get to see it. But this run
gets stuffed.
He's able to get a yard off of it.
And now this is going to even hurt Jackson even more now because you're on the wrong side of the clock. You're on defense, and they're in field. They're not in field goal range yet, but they are very, very close to field goal range.
And
right now it would be like a 60-yarder where, that might be possible in NFL. Our kickers right now, I don't think are making 60-yarders. If you can, go be an NFL kicker and get signed by a team. I think any team would sign you right now.
This is is where it becomes interesting for the Jags. They want to stay on top of the clock, and the thing is, there's not a lot of field left, and the Rams, they're going to want to keep them more towards 8 minutes rather than 6, because once this clock gets down, if it gets to a 2-possession lead and you get down to the 6-minute mark, that's where it really starts to become a scramble for trying to get things, and you go for a lot more deep plays.
And timeout, Southern.
Yeah, and they're having, Southern's having a little bit of a problem getting it, but, you know, the Jags getting fired up by the coaches, by their own players, and they don't want to lose this game. And they're going to be going, they're going to be hitting a little bit harder now. They're going to be trying to knock the ball loose. And, you know, this is where the game can really change. And it's these final few minutes that, in some games, this amount of time ends up being garbage time and touchdowns don't matter much, but this is very much a winnable game for the Jags. It just comes to a lot, but there's also a lot of pressure on the Rams to not blow this lead. And the Jags, they're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder. They lost the first game. They don't want to lose the second. So
there is our scoreboard for everyone that wants to know the score, the correct score. Rams have the ball.
You know, 3rd down and 9 at the 42. That's, with the way that the punting team and special teams has looked today for Southern, I could see a punt very well ending up within the 10. And that's not where the Jags are going to want to start off, but the Jags have seemed to score mostly from explosive plays. So.
All right, here we go. Oh, we're moving Brown out to the side. It's going to be a screen pass to the flat, and it's not going to go anywhere, and it's going to go out of bounds, too. That should stop the clock. That is not good for Southern, in my opinion, because they just used the timeout to stop the clock, and they ran the ball out of bounds, too. So now it's a 4th down here. Jackson is on. They're holding them to the 42-yard line, and Southern's going for it, it looks like.
It's an interesting choice, but once again, you think the odds, I don't think they are. No, they're not. But,
He was on the 5! He was on the 5!
And
Oh,
Jags to receive the punt. Snap goes a little bit high. And that punt goes straight up. Does not go very far.
That's going to be in the 20.
And unfortunately, looks like number 12 took a wrong step.
Looks like a calf.
He's able to get up and hobble off with help.
Is it a calf or a knee?
Not sure. We'll see if we can see it on the replay. And there, as you can see, number 12 at the bottom, you can tell he just steps. And sometimes it's, that's one of those things, once again, you hope he didn't get hit. You hope that it's just something minor, something that he needs to get stretched, and then he's good. But
it's probably like a Charlie horse. We saw it today in today's soccer game. Twice happened that we had 2 Charlie horses where, or muscle cramp or something like that. That it just, we hope that they're okay too.
And you can see on the sideline,
he's getting stretched out as we speak. And
once again, the fact that he was able to hobble, on one foot, able to get off the field.
It's going to be a run with Aiden Sweeney here out to the outside, and he's not going to break any tackles this time, unfortunately. But here's the thing. I know Jackson's got to keep the game going, but you're down by 7 on the wrong side of the clock in the 4th quarter. I think you might have to start looking at deep passes here, or at least passes over the middle. You still do have 3 timeouts, so it is okay. But and it looks like Aiden Sweeney needs to be stretched out a little. We're looking at him on the sideline right now. He's being stretched out a little. Hopefully he's okay as well.
Yeah, that's where especially, it's cold, it's wet, and Austin's looking a lot, and flags going out.
Holding or Offsides? False
It would be offsides or false start.
Yeah.
That's false start on the Jags, and that's 2nd and 11, and there goes that run, and that's just, nope, you don't like to see it.
And you know, this kind of hurts Jackson right now too, because now they don't have Aiden Sweeney in. They could Southern could be like, you know what? Try to run the ball on us.
Yeah.
We're gonna just play deep. You can run now. We're not scared. We're not scared of you. Your best player, one of your best running backs, is gone right now. We don't have to worry about your running backs right now. So we're not gonna let you get anything deep on us. But it looks like Southern's in like a cover 2 formation right now.
Timeout called by the Jags, and he didn't seem like he didn't want to call that timeout. Could tell, but
I think the play clock was winding down.
And I think he saw something he did not want. So.
I wish they actually showed the play clock on the scoreboard, so we know actually how much time it's all. Because I know in regular it's 25 seconds, but it could be different because this is high school and all.
And that's where, you know, that's where the sport can get complicated. I mean, you could try to expand the playbooks on some of your players, and sometimes it works. Sometimes you bring out these plays and they end up being phenomenal, and they end up being some of your go-to plays. But later on, some of these plays could get more complex, and it does look like Aiden Sweeney is walking around on the sideline, moving around a little bit, trying to loosen up, and there's some movement in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to a jet sweep. He has some room to run, cuts over the middle, able to break 2 tackles, continues to stay on his feet before getting buzzed out.
That was a bad hit at the end. You know what? I'm eating my words now because I said that Southern doesn't have to worry about the run game. I am actually eating my words right now because number 6 had a beautiful jet sweep there and broke 1, 2, and he's still up. Broke that tackle, which knocked out number 42, which was finally taken down by that other guy.
And a player that did come off, Dave Cassas, came off for Southern. Looked to have a little bit of a limp, and you know, it's a rough game out here. Well, now on the 36, they're making a drive out of this, but they're taking a lot of time doing it.
And Ty Man, oh no, not Ty Man, number 14 is going to take that. That's
Michael Caprino. And, you know, the Jags are looking for something here. They want that explosive play, and the thing is, in high school, it seems like the more plays you run, the higher the odds of getting one of those explosive plays happening. They seem to happen a lot in high school. So if you can get those drives that tend to be 18, 19 plays long where you slowly chip away, one of them is bound to be an explosive run or a pass or something happens. But it's also where you get into injuries and the clock is now gone, and it's going to drop back. Head receiver open on the side and just a little bit overthrown.
There is no overtime in high school football, correct?
I don't believe so.
Because I know there are some sports that have that overtimes. I don't believe that football has one of them. Because I believe you can end in a tie in football. All right, Jackson needs to put up something big here because it's 3rd and 10. Maybe a nice big play here to change the momentum. As I know, we've been saying that a lot today. Momentum is key in almost every sport, like basketball, baseball, football, any sport, NHL, any sport that, even tennis, and like just momentum and just being like in the lead or just having that feeling that you're in the lead is just great too. Oh, nice block by Jackson. And Ty Man's going to escape using his legs. He's going to get out to the side, and it's going to be a nice catch by number 4.
And that's a really, really good play there, especially by Ty Man. He almost tripped up, but he was able to say, and that will be a First down for the Jags. As we take a look at this again, good snapback in there. He slightly loses his footing, slips up a little bit, and number 3 not quite able to catch up to him. And that's one of the interesting things about having some of your running backs on your defensive line is that's their running back, and he'll catch up to you if you try to outrun him. So, but good job by the receiver getting open. Good job by the quarterback seeing him, and really good first down there in a really good situation. And they're going to hands it off
to Aiden Sweeney. He's back in the game. So it probably was just a cramp, or he was out of water or something like that, because he is right back into the game, and so is number 12 as well. So,
and this is where it gets a little bit iffy. The Jags have had the ball for, I'd say, 3 minutes already, and they're at the 48. So, you know, by the time they give the ball back, will there be enough time for the Rams to go downfield? I'm not sure, but if the Rams are able to go downfield and score, the Jags don't have time for another drive like this. So they need to score here, and their defense is going to need to get a stop and try to get that ball back to the offense.
Jackson does have 2 timeouts, though. Oh, he's going to test it deep. Oh, he caught it!
And an incredible play there. Good job by the quarterback, and he's been...
I need a replay of that. I need to see that again. That was an amazing catch by number 4, Justin Hirsch.
And he's not quite been on the mark today, but there's
not quite a touchdown yet, but a great play. In other words, it's not quite a touchdown yet. It's still 21-14. But as you see, Ty Man throws it to and Justin is that jump ball receiver, and the number 20 just jumped too early.
Like I was saying, the quarterback has had himself a little bit of it's been an interesting night. You know, right at the beginning, he overthrew a couple times. That one right on the money, if not a little bit behind, but great job by him. He'll hand it off to Sweeney off the side. He's able to go forward, get the first down, and that will be a touchdown with 5:40 left on the clock. And this is becoming a lot bigger of a game. But 5:40... No, there's time for 2 possessions here. The Jags could end up seeing the ball again.
That's exactly what Jackson needed there. Like, Jackson needed that quickly. As you were saying, Jackson needed a quick score. Those 2 plays took maybe 30 seconds at most off the clock, and they scored very quick. And just Aiden Sweeney breaks one to the right outside, shoves off this block, and then gets that tackle off, and he's just going to walk right into the end zone for a beautiful touchdown. And then there's our band playing our touchdown song. And, oh no! We missed the PAT.
That's where high school sports is completely different, because this is a very, very different game now.
Yes, that is, because now here's the thing. Before, they were going to play for a tie. Now they're like, oh, God, we can't run the ball. Now they can run the ball.
Yeah.
Because now they're up because they can run the ball, and Jackson has to use both of their timeouts now if they want the ball.
And the Rams now, they score a touchdown here, and it's not a 2-possession game, but that would then get
up by 8, though. If they get a touchdown with a 7, that's up by 8. But if they get a touchdown with an 8-point play, like a 2-point conversion, that would be a 2-score game. Yeah. If I can speak and calculate math. See, now there go the cheerleaders doing their push-ups.
And I swear, I mean a lot, and interesting to see here. They definitely don't want to give the Rams any type of return, but not sure they want to give them the field possession of a squib here. And
do you try an onside kick here and try to get the ball back?
I think if it's something you've practiced, maybe, but odds are they probably haven't. And that kick goes down the side, and
and they are gonna squib kick it here.
And it almost feels like the momentum It's on the side of the Rams. Even though the Jags just scored that miss, it hurts. And it's not.
It does hurt.
It's not what they wanted. It's not what they needed. And now it changes the dynamic. The Jags need the ball back.
And they also need a score, too. It's not like the Jags, they get the ball back and get a score, they win. They still need a score to get the victory. And that is now just putting a lot more pressure on the Jags defense now to, you got to stop this offense one more time. And then now that's putting more pressure on the offense because now you're saying to the offense, you got to score one more time. So it's just like it's a huge gamble. And then now here comes the running back. He's not going to break any tackle. Yes, he is, but he's going to get down there. That would be 2nd and 5.
And on the 2nd and 5, it comes, it's interesting. On these 2nd and 5s, you're always going to run it, but at what point does it become predictable? And it already is, but the running back, he's just able to break it off tackles to get it forward, and the Jags can't let them do that. And out of 2nd and 2, it becomes interesting. They can let him get this first down, but any more first downs, and you just have to really run into a problem. You don't want to let them build on the momentum that they already have. And this one's going to be run again, and he's going to get that first down.
Now if you're Jackson here, do you use a timeout?
You save that for a while. It only starts to become a problem when you get a lot lower on the play clock. And
there's our band playing our songs again.
And 4:40 left on the clock. They can still hope to hold them on a 3 and out. And one good thing is a field goal, while important, wouldn't do as much for the Rams. 24-20. The Jags are going for a touchdown anyway, and even after a kicker missing a PAT, and you start to bring into question, but he's able to break a few tackles and move down the chains. But you bring into question, how much does this field goal do? The Jags, a kicker missing a PAT, it's definitely a hit to the confidence, and you question whether they're going to trust him with a field goal, and they're probably going to trust him, but a lot of it's psychological, and they're just a phenomenal run up the middle, able to break a few tackles. And
hello again.
And the weather has seemed to held out, and it's been a really nice day. And 21-20, Jags put themselves in a little bit of a situation, and they're going to be looking to get out of this hopefully unscathed, but it's a lot of time off the clock. They're going to run it again, and
now that's the stuff they needed to get a 2nd and I would say a 2nd and 9. He did gain a yard on that one, but I'm just saying that it's going to be a toughie. It's 3:26 remaining left on the time. 21-20.
And Jaden Brown, when he finally starts to feel his groove, and he's had a couple of good runs in a row, it's going to be hard to slow him down. He's just going to continue to blast through it, and you're going to hope. The hope is for the Jags is that their defensive line is able to hold them down, but I'm not going to be sure if they're able to.
Nice stuff again. Now you have to use a timeout here. With 2:43 remaining, you gotta use a timeout in my opinion.
I think they're gonna let the play clock run. I think they really want to save this for
the offense.
Yeah, if they're gonna try to, a lot of times on offense, if you pin yourself with no timeouts, they end up, the open wide receiver ends up being in the middle of the field, and you throw it to him, you need to then run your no huddle offense, which is always a risk. But.
And also, though, is if you use your timeout now and they get the first down, that's one less timeout, and it's a worse situation now. So I understand saving your timeout, but you're gonna have to make sure you stop them here. And there's Southern's timeout. Yep, Southern's gonna call the timeout to get the extension of the play clock. It made sense. They took 28 seconds off the clock. They're gonna extend the play clock, talk it over and here. Oh.
And 2:04 left on the clock. Jags, 3rd and 4. They're gonna need to get the stop here. And not only that, you then run. Well, if they punt it, and last time their punt didn't go too far, it ended up around the 20-ish. But a good high punt can pin them within the 5, and when it's within the 5, that's when you're starting your drive from there. It's really not looking good, especially when you don't have, push it towards a limited time. So.
All right, come on, Jackson. Jackson needs something big here. They need a really big stop here.
Rams take the field, take the snap, 2 in the back. They hand it off, and he has his first down and more, and that will be a touchdown, depending on what this flag is.
There is a flag, though, I believe, on the play.
And with the whistles blowing, that's coming back in. Penalties, once again. Gonna ruin the Rams. That's coming all the way back.
Let's see. Yeah, holding, I think, right there.
On number 45,
I think. Or that penalty right there. Yeah, I think it's holding. Let's hear.
Yeah, and they're going to bring it back.
That's huge for Jackson, especially.
It really is, and that's where, and,
Oh, and they're moving back the change as well. And there is our wonderful Jackson Memorial High School. That is the memorial side of our building. Fine Arts is in the center right there. And then we're going to go to our Clayton side as we're hovering over the parking lot right now.
And 3rd and 11 now at the 47. Brings up the question, running it. Now, it worked last play, even though the play technically didn't count. But you really start to question what exactly you do here.
It was probably a false start. It was probably a false start because if the play didn't count, it's probably a false start.
And
they're going to run it again.
Run it again, go up the middle. He's not going to get it. And that false start is really going to take away at them.
And they called a timeout immediately because it's 4th and 9, I would say. So now Southern's got a choice on their hands. Do they try for the field goal, or do you punt it here and try to put it inside the 5-yard line?
I think you punt to try to put it inside the 5. The Jags, their punt return hasn't been looking great. They had the one kickoff return for a touchdown, which was really good. And, I'm assuming it's the same player on both. I'm not entirely sure. But, they got to hope for not a lot of return. And with the way that the ground is and the way that these kicks have been going, you doubt there's going to be much return. But, it seems like they are discussing it.
Or they could pull like a trick play they did. Remember that touchdown? They did pull a trick play before. So Southern is not opposed to pulling trick plays. And then now we're just seeing our beautiful school. There's our bus lot. Oh, there's our band now. That is not a bus lot. As now it looks like Southern is going to punt this. And I have a question for you, Brian. If it bounces... If you're the return man and it bounces where he is, do you just try to let it go into the end zone, or you pick it up and run?
I think you pick it up and run at this point. With the way that these punts have been going, the bounces have not been going their way, and that ball, it's not going to make it to the goal line. And phenomenal job, I will say, by number 10 there, Nick Devaney. He's really, they must have told him, try to get down there and stop that ball as fast as possible. He was able to, but there's a flag on the play.
Well, let's see.
Quite sure what they saw.
No, roughing the kicker.
Could be legal block in the back. It was closer towards the line.
Or legal touching.
Entirely sure.
Oh, face mask on the kicking team. Wow, these penalties are just killing Southern. They have I think I have added 100 yards against Southern in just penalty yards alone. This is really bad. So now, instead of the ball being at the 5-yard line, the ball's at the 15?
I believe it's 16, which is big for them.
That is a little big.
And I mean, it gives them some breathing room. No chance of a sack.
Now, you are still on the wrong side of the clock here.
Yeah,
but you only have to go 40 yards. No, where are we? Is this
16? I mean,
it looks like the 36.
Yeah,
is that the 20? That's the 40. Yeah, it looks like the 36. So you're at the 36 right now. You get 40 to 50 yards. You're in field goal range. Plus, you still got a timeout too. So you could get a nice deep play here. You could run it one time, call a timeout, set up for the field goal to win the game. Like, a field goal is this is exactly how it was playing out last week, and the Jackson just couldn't put a field goal up through the upright. Maybe this week they finally learned their lesson and maybe could put a field goal in the upright. So let's try. Oh. It is getting cold out.
Yeah, and here's where they're going to be I believe they're going to be redoing the punt.
Uh-oh. So. What is the ref is going over to talk to the coach.
Interesting the penalty. It's sometimes, especially with these referees not able to communicate over a loudspeaker, it becomes a lot harder to understand what exactly is going on. But they're going to go for the punt again, and honestly, this might be, it could end up in a weird way being somewhat good for the Rams. When you're too close to punt, too far to kick a field goal, you're kind of forced to not put all the power into it. But from the 40, if he could put all his power into it, they could try to pin them even more.
Here it is. The punt is up. Oh, I think that might have hit number 29, but number 6.
Picked up by number 6. And he is brought down, but I do think that is a good heads-up play by number 6. Not sure if that touched 29, but if it did, just a really good play by him. Just pick up the ball, and he was able to get a few yards. And a few yards, I mean, when you're going for a field goal, a few yards is a lot. So,
as I see right now, number 13, I believe that is Alexi. He is warming up for the kick, for the field goal to win this game right now. I see him practicing in the kicking net. So let's see if that actually hit number 29. Ooh, that was close. That might have actually hit number 29. Right there on the shoulder.
I don't believe so. I think he got out of the way. But, good heads-up play by number 6. I mean, not a lot of people would expect you to pick it up.
No, in that situation, if I thought my player picked it up, I touched it, I would have picked it up and just been like, yeah, I'm going to take it down right here, not going to force the fumble.
Now he drops back in the pocket, looks.
Number 4 again. Oh, it's going to be intercepted.
Oh, that's incomplete.
Or incomplete. Incomplete.
And kind of close.
I feel like Ty Mann right now is trying to play hero ball when he kind of doesn't have. I know he does have to get downfield, but I think he's chucking it to like the wide receiver. He sees that he's not ready yet, and so now this wide receiver is kind of playing like catch, like try to find the ball. So it's like kind of hard.
Oh, and once again, I mean, from our perspective, you can see that number 25 was relatively open and probably could have gotten to the sideline, but that would have been, a shorter gain, and that's just also one of the things that these quarterbacks, they can't see everything. And
of course,
you're just going to drop back again, throw across the middle, and just too high. And that'll bring it to a 3rd and 10, man.
That's going to hurt.
Not what the Jags wanted. 1:20 left on the clock. They were able to get both these plays out really fast, but let's see.
Now it's going to be 3rd and 10 from their own 23-yard line. No, 23. I'm right. 23-yard line with 1:20 remaining in this 4th and final quarter of play. This team this team has to do something big here.
Looks like the coach sees something he doesn't like from the Jags, and he's gonna run to the outside. got a few yards before stepping out of bounds, and you could tell he wanted to make a cut inside, but it just wasn't in the stars. And not entirely sure what the Southern coach saw, but I think if he had a timeout, he would have called it. He was sprinting down the sideline, trying to tell his players something, but came out relatively unscathed on a 4th and 8.
This is it right here.
That really is. And
Jackson does not pick up this 4th down. Ball game going over. Even though Jackson has a timeout, they can't stop the clock more than once, and they just need it 3 times. 4 times, game's over. Because there's less. And now both sidelines are cheering right now. And here we go, the 4th and final play.
Drops back, throws over the middle, and it'll be blocked.
That's going to be blocked. Number 25 was looking for some pass interference. There was no pass interference on that play, and it's going to be go back to the Rams. And Jackson needs a miracle here, or
they need a big one. And I mean, 3 knees and the game's over. Timeout used on one of them, if they even bother calling the timeouts. And that's, it's a good game, but and that's where, honestly, I am impressed with the amount of Rams that showed up. I mean, you must have heard that cheer at the end. They were pretty loud. And
once again, Jackson has lost on a missed field goal or a missed PAT. It's very, very heartbreaking, these last 2 games for Jackson especially. They've been at home and they've lost by a PAT this game, and they've lost the last week game by a field goal, and it's very sad that sometimes those kicks are mostly important to plays. With 1:06 remaining here, they're just going to need this ball down here. There it is. Does Jackson call timeout to ice it?
I don't think they do.
I think Jackson knows it's over, unfortunately.
And that's just, it's how the cookie crumbles. You miss a PAT. You practice that kicker a lot more this next week. You work on the PAT. And, it comes, sometimes you got to take it with a grain of salt. And but the Jags, they brought it to the Rams. The Rams, coming off of a 41-0 win, taking them 20-21 when they have this good of an offense. The Jags, there was no point where you couldn't call the Jags out until right now, and
until they missed that field goal, really.
Yeah, that's one impressive thing where when a team can rebound, and they were even able to get the ball again, and it's just the play clock will wind down, and the Rams will come away with the win. Jags gonna be looking to keep their head held high. There's a couple things, and of course, hindsight, there's going to be, they look at the film, they can find, 100 things that they need to fix, but both teams do that, and,
I would say the most impressive thing is last week, the Rams won 41-0. They won 21-20. Jackson was never out of this fight. Jackson was always in, and now we're having good sportsmanship by shaking each other's hands. Even though in the world we live in, I don't think we should be doing that stuff, but I don't make the rules. I just follow them. So, all right. And this has been JTV's Game of the Week. I'm Steve Ifantis.
And I'm Brian Martingano, and we hope to see you guys next time. There will be plenty more football games this season as it's just getting started, so be sure to come back to JTV's Game of the Week.